read to someone, and we talked about how read to someone is a chance for you to be a coach to someone, to help them, right, when they need help. You're listening to someone and helping them if they need help with figuring out a word or remembering something that they read. So I'm going to show you this little video clip about being a team, working together to get something done. Yay!
Bring it in, guys.
Watch carefully.
Yo, bring it in, y'all. All right, that's it for today. We have a game tomorrow, so get some rest tonight. Remember, ties and jackets tomorrow. Class. Mr. Cruz, I'm impressed with what you've done, but you came up short. You owe me 80 suicides and 500 push-ups. Please leave my gym.
Uh-oh. That wasn't the end.
Bring it in, guys. Go, bring it in, y'all. All right, that's it for today. We have a game tomorrow, so get some rest tonight. And remember, ties and jackets tomorrow. Class. Mr. Cruz, I'm impressed with what you've done, but you came up short. You owe me 80 suicides and 500 push-ups. Please leave my gym. Thanks, Clyde. Gentlemen, see you tomorrow.
I'll do push-ups for him. You said we're a team. One person struggles, we all struggle. One player triumphs, we all triumph, right?
I'll do some. I'll run suicides too.
I'll do some too.
I'll do some too.
Fine. Keep count. Tell me when they're done.
Okay, raise your hand if you can tell me what you learned from watching that clip. What did you learn? Yes.
To be a team.
To be a team, okay. What did you learn?
To stick up for somebody.
To stick up for someone else. Grace, what did you learn?
Somebody's in trouble, you might always want to help them. It's just like if somebody's like a pile of dirt, you want to help them get out.
You want to help them get out, okay. Miranda?
Stick together.
Stick together. Josh?
Sorry.
What?
I feel sorry.
They felt sorry for him. They felt compassion. One of the themes was teamwork and feeling compassion for someone else. Yes.
So like if somebody's, even if they're always mean to you, you always want to be nice back. And just like in cheer.
And cheer.
I Brooklyn really wanted to be a fighter. And then I wanted to be quiet. And then everybody else wanted to start being quiet. I gave my position up, and then I ended up being a choir. And then I helped Brooklyn with her cheer, and now she gets to be choir.
So how did that make you feel?
It made me feel happy that I was helping someone.
Exactly. And did you see the coach's face when he saw his team working together? What did he do?
He smiled.
He smiled. It made him feel good that his team was working together. Now let's relate this back to reading and reading to someone. How does this go together? How does it even go together, Haley?
When someone can't figure out a word, you try to help them through it.
Exactly. You are kind of the coach. You're going to help them, aren't you? Yes? And you're working together. You're not just going to leave them stuck there and for 5 minutes trying to figure out the word. You're going to coach them if they need help, right? Yes? Okay, so really quickly, I want you to carefully, because the video camera's over there, I want you to carefully come and sit, and I scooted this back so that we have more room, but I'm going to show you our Read to Someone toolkit.
I'll see it.
Thank you for being polite and asking to get by. Sorry if I stepped on someone. Okay, so when we are reading together, we already know how we're sitting. Raise your hand if you can remind us, how do we sit during Read to Someone?
We sit
What does that stand for?
knee to knee, elbow to elbow.
Okay, it's backwards. Elbow, elbow,
Knee to knee.
Yeah, elbow, elbow, knee to knee. So you're sitting close together. You're already working as a team by sitting close together and sharing a book, right? One of you may read and the other one is listening. Yes? So the person who's listening is going to be the coach. Yeah? Okay. Well, we have these kits. There's 4 of them over there. And what you're going to do when you're reading with someone is you're going to go and grab one of these and you're going to share it. So only get one for the 2 students, okay? And inside, there are some tools to help you be a good coach. There's also some tools in here to help you to think about the story and know what the story is telling you so that you can understand and comprehend the story, okay? So we're going to start out with being a coach. When someone's reading and they get stuck on a word, here is the little bookmark that kind of helps you to know what to do. It says, how to be a reading coach. Count 1, 2, 3. If someone is stuck on a word, Davin, and they don't know what it is, you're going to count in your head and give them 3 seconds. You're going to say 1, 2, 3, and let them kind of think. And then you're going to ask them, do you need coaching or do you want more time? And if they say time, then you're going to wait patiently for them to use their strategies to figure the word out. But if they say coaching, then you're going to use your coaching strategies, okay? Now, the coaching strategies are in here. Here they are. There is chunky monkey, which means you're going to tell them, look for chunks of the word that you know, okay? Look for chunks that are familiar. If you have a word, a long word, but you see the word at inside of that word, then you know a chunk of that word and it can help you to figure out what the whole word says. Yes? If you're listening and understanding, give me a thumbs up quickly. Okay? All right. Stretchy the snake stretches the sounds out and then blends them back together. So that's something that you can coach them and tell them to try. Okay? We have fly eye. You're going to use your fly eyes to look at the pictures if your book has pictures. And sometimes the book has pictures that can give you clues on what the words are. Then we have skip over the word. Just like a kangaroo, you're going to skip over the word and come back to it and put a word in that makes sense and see if it looks right and sounds right. Okay? Then we have flipper the dolphin. Flipper the dolphin is going to flip the vowel sounds. Suppose you have the word skate, but you read it scat. Well, that doesn't make sense in your sentence, and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't really sound right. I'm going to flip my vowel, and I'm going to make it say a long A, sound and see if that makes sense. And so you would say skate, and then you say, oh yeah, I know that word, it makes sense. I used an easy word, but you know what I mean. Okay, and so that's the word that it is. So that's flipping your vowel, making it from a short vowel to a long vowel sound. And then the last one is lips the fish. You're going to get your lips ready to say the beginning sound. You're always going to get ready to say what you see at the beginning of that word. You're not just going to sit there and look at it, okay? All right, so what are these called? They're the coaching skill strategies, okay? So if your partner says, I need coaching, you're going to remind them by using these, okay? Yeah? All right. Here's a fun way to kind of coach each other along and make sure that you're understanding the story together. You're working together as a team to understand what you both just read, okay? This one's really fun. My last class really liked this one a lot. It's called Roll and Retell. Now, everything in this bucket for the comprehension activities, they go with fiction stories, okay? Not nonfiction books. So this and the check for understanding check mark I'm going to show you goes for fiction stories. Later on in the year, I'll give you something to go for nonfiction books. Yeah. Okay, so this is roll and retell. So you're going to take turns rolling this, and if you land on a 1, your task is to tell what the story or the chapter was mostly about. But here's the most important part. You're going to provide evidence. Do you remember what that is? Now, yeah, go back in the story. Exactly. Haley said to go back in the story and show or prove to the person you're working with what it's about. Sometimes you're not going to have time to read a whole book, so you're going to read a chapter and then do these things. Does that make sense? Okay. If you roll a number 2, you're going to describe the main character in the story, and you're going to provide evidence to support how you're describing them. So, for example, if we're reading a story about a bully or someone who's mean on the playground, you're going to say, okay, I'm reading this story and the main character's name is Bob, and he's a really big bully outside, and here's why I know he's a bully. Because the author says that he takes kids' lunch from them, or the author says that at recess he pushes kids down. So that's your evidence, okay? So you've got to give evidence when you're describing your character. You can't just say, oh, this character's nice, and then move along. You've got to tell why is that person nice, okay? What did the author say? If you roll a 3, what is the setting of the story or chapter? And remember, setting is 2 things. It's where it happened and when it happened. So if you're going to say that it happened at night, if you're going to say it happened at night, then you need to be able to go back into your story and prove. Say, well, it says right here that they were going to bed, and I know that if it says they were going to bed, that it's probably nighttime. Does that make sense to you? Okay. All right, so you're going to describe the setting there and show evidence. Number 4 says, what challenge does the main character face? That's kind of like the problem, okay? For example, in the book Freckle-Faced Strawberry, what was the challenge that Freckle-Face had? Brooklyn? Exactly. People were making fun of her, so that's the challenge that she faced, okay? And then it says, how does the character respond? So raise your hand and tell us, how did Freckleface respond to her problem? What did she do about it? Micaiah?
She dressed up in a ski mask and her own stuff.
Exactly. She tried to solve her own problem by doing various things. Finally, she dressed in a ski mask. So that's how she responded to her problem. She tried to solve it, okay? If you roll a 5, then you're going to connect the story to another story that you've heard before. Could have been a story that you heard in kindergarten, okay? Any stories that you have heard before, you're going to connect it to another text, okay? And the last one that you're going to do is describe the sensory figurative language in the chapter or the story. What that means is that when you see the word figurative language, you're going to think about your 5 senses. So when you see figurative language, what are you going to think of? 5 motion for 5 senses. Okay, so when you see the words figurative language, you're thinking of 5 senses. That means, how does something look? How does something smell? How does something taste? How does something feel? Those are descriptive words. We also know that figurative language is similes and metaphors. Like if you're saying, the snow is as white as milk. Okay? Yeah? Does that make sense? You learned that in 3rd grade because I remember I taught you. Okay? So this is role and retell. You're coaching each other and working as a team to understand that book that you're reading. The last thing that I'm going to show you is this one. This one's real fun because you get to ask these questions to your partner. You get to say, okay, you read me a chapter, now tell me, who was that about? And they're going to tell you. What happened to that person? When did this story happen? Where did it happen? And why? This one's fun because you get to make up your question. So you can say, well, why did Freckle-Faced Strawberry wear a ski mask? Okay, and then the person's going to have to tell you. So you're really working together as a team to build your reading fluency for the coaching, but you're also working together as a team to build your comprehension as readers. And you heard what the guy said in there, that when one struggles, they all struggle. So if I'm reading with someone and they're struggling, I'm struggling too, and I want to help them out, right? And if one triumphs, we all triumph. You know what triumph means? It means to win, right? So if one of us triumphs, then all of us triumph. Is that okay? I mean, do you understand that?
Because we're all a team.
Yes? Okay, so give me a thumbs up if you understand what's all in the toolkit. Give me a thumbs down if you don't have a clue, and a sideways thumb if you kind of need some more help learning. Okay, or need more explanation. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to practice read to self and read to someone. And the reason why we're going to do, some of us are going to do read to self the first rotation is because we only have 4 of these, so only 8 people can do read to someone at a time. Okay? So the way I did this last time to make it fair was I just did numbers 1 through 8 is going to be first for read to someone. So numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you're going to partner up. So raise your hand if you're number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. Look around. I want you to partner up with someone. Partner up with someone quickly. And you're going to get your book. And you're going to take this. And the other ones are over on that shelf over there. Okay? And if you are 9 through 20, go to your desk and get your book out of your book box to read quietly.
I don't want it to be a plain or yellow.
Here, I have some hot glue. I'll do it.
I don't know that.
Can I give you a Band-Aid?
I do. Oh, let me go ahead.
Okay, so 1 through 8 should be doing read to someone. You know that you can sit around the room, but how are you sitting? E. So I need to see that. Make sure that you and your partner are not sitting anywhere near anyone else. I had a group over here earlier today. Naomi, we don't sit and read at the library. Are you doing read to self? Read to self is at your desk.
Miss Durbin, can I go to the left shore?
She wants me to be.
No, ma'am.
Miss Durbin?
Are you going to work together well? Okay, I'll let you try it. Go ahead. You'll be all right. I trust you. You need a kit. You need a toolkit from the white shelf.
I'll get it.